Welcome to the channel. My name is Crawford and this is Virginia's for Lowriders. We're back out here trying to get something accomplished. Today was one of them days when you set an alarm. You're like, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get this done. And then your phone updates at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. It just turns all your alarms off. That was today. So I woke up way later than I anticipated and had a hard time finding motivation. But I'm out here. It's later than I anticipated, but if you've never been here before, Ranger, turning into lowrider-ish things, trying to make it go up and down at an aggressive speed, hopefully a little bit of hopping, hopefully a little bit of three-wheeling. We're at the point where we're adding weight. Last weekend we got the shock towers, or cylinder towers, tack welded in. We got some stuff mocked up. This week we gotta take these back off, weld these to them, make this thing that goes across. We need to brace some stuff and a whole ton of welding. It's gonna be happening, and that's what our goal is. If you've never been here before, there is a ton of videos on other things that we've built. Body dropping a Caprice, body dropping a Mazda. It's a lot. You should check all of that out and hang around, because we're really close to another giveaway. We are 30 people away, 30 subscribers away from doing another giveaway. I'll put on the screen what we're giving away. It is a air filter of your choice, a t-shirt, and a pack of stickers. Totally for free. All you gotta do is subscribe, and maybe next week we'll be giving this stuff away, because we're, like I said, 30 subs away. We picked up another 40 subscribers last week, which I truly appreciate. All of y'all following along while I work in my tiny garage. And we're gonna keep giving away every time we hit on subscribers, so stick around, subscribe. You could win some stuff next week. It's very possible, as long as we get to that next 100 mark. I just shipped out, if you're watching this and I'm supposed to send you stuff, I just shipped out 6 more things from giveaways. 6 more packages. So they're going out. All you gotta do is subscribe. Just hang around and let's try and get something done, because I feel like I've been slacking lately. We've been getting stuff done, but it is not at my normal pace. Today was actually nice. I'm not even going to complain about the heat, because it was a beautiful day today, which means it's probably going to be like 300 degrees on Monday, just because that's how it works. We got Justin here today. He's got his crayons over there and his toys, so he's entertained while I'm filling the garage with smoke and grinding dust. So yeah, I'm rambling. Let's just get into doing something. So last weekend we got the spring mount assembly sort of mounted up. We got this plate made up. That's tack welded on. The power ball is welded to that plate. This is tack welded. This is square, level, even with the bar, and everything is looking pretty good. Thing is, I'm gonna run these so that they center my spring. I want to weld these to the bottom of this plate. I would like to do that with this off the truck, and then I want to clean up this cut that we just rough cut with the torch and get all this welded together. I need to be able to put this back on exactly where it was, because I only made one of these mock-up springs and I need to use it on the other side to do the same thing. So I got to come up with a way to where this is just going to go right back on the frame. So I'm trying to figure that out real quick. I'm kind of thinking, got some Dykem. I'm just going to spray paint the outside edge and just cut it off and maybe weld it back on. That's the plan. We're going to try that. Thinking maybe something like this. I'm going to wait for that to dry, and I'm going to scribe this around the edge. That way, even if the Dykem comes off, because I'm just going to have to clean it off with rubbing alcohol before I weld, that there is a scribed line that is clean. I'm kind of thinking something like this. And that should make it to where I can pop this on there from the bottom with this off the truck, tack weld it on, clean all the dicom off, and just fully weld it. Wish me luck. That is a terrible noise. My tack weld might be a little better than I thought. Didn't expect that. Actually, I got to use cutting tools for that. As you can see, last week we rougher than rough cut this. We cut this with our eyes closed while holding with the torch with our feet. Yeah, something like that. Oh wow, that's way off. Try this again for the 6th time. Perfectly round oval. That one doesn't look like I cut it with my feet. It just looks like I cut it with my hands behind my back. I had to clean that tip of the torch. It is not cutting very precisely today.
I think it's an operator error.
Usually is. I just blame the equipment. Go. Well, it's the next day, and what you just saw was me trying to get something done before I rambled along to this thing and then second guessed my decisions. So we're out here. We're getting it done. I took this a little further than I anticipated. I fully anticipated on welding that spring keeper donut thing on there, and then just leaving the weld. And then I picked up the grinder and I cleaned up the edge a little bit, and that snowballed like a lot, and it turned into this, which looks pretty cool, even though you'll never see it because it's literally inside of the wheel well of the truck. But I'm happy with it. There is tons and tons of dude glitter out here. It is caked on everything. So now we can move on to the other side. I pre-marked the other bracket with this bracket, and hopefully that is in the same spot on the other side, but should be pretty straightforward on getting that one squared up. We already did it, and all we're doing is doing it again, just on the other side. I didn't continue to work yesterday. We got a little distracted. We went, actually, let me work and talk instead of just straight rambling. So, got a little distracted, had a couple side quests. We had to fix the air compressor because apparently the airline that I have outside is not UV rated. I had to go pick up parts for my mom's truck because that's a project. Maybe I don't know if anybody wants to watch me do stuff like that. I could throw it in the middle of the week. I thought about it. Just let me know. It's maintenance-y. We got some stuff I got to do to it. I need to look for some wheels. I got tires for it. Got to make it not misfire. Stuff like that, you know. Kind of, to me, boring stuff. But that was one of the things. I had to pick up parts for that. James came over. James had like a self-tapper in one of his tires. So we had to get the air compressor going to fix James's tire. And then lunch, and then grown men playing with toys. You know, the things that just come about on the weekends. So there was quite a few distractions, but it worked out. I got that marked. Hopefully it's in about the same spot. And hopefully I can position this thing to where it's identical to that side. That's what we're hoping for here. I just gotta take a bunch of measurements, make sure that this bar is at the same degree as that bar, because we made this plate the same degree as this plate on the other side, and all of those numbers need to jive together for it to not go down the road crooked. That's our goal. So, tape measure time, and then a whole lot of welding. There was a lot of heat on the other side. Hopefully not too much heat. And then, once we get that on there, cross member. Then I'll really feel like we got something done this weekend. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it feel like we got something done. It might not be a lot. It might be a fancy looking metal toilet bowl, but yeah, I'm rambling. Let's just move on to the other side. So a refresher, 5. So you're gonna make sure that that's the same over here, which kind of depends on my big zip ties stretching or not over the last couple weeks. Ooh, you're dead on. 5. And we can move that over to here. And all we're gonna do is position this to 5. Take a measurement from here to something that's stationary up there. Make sure that this is the same distance. Tack weld that guy in there. Mark the bottom of this. Repeat. Well, now that all the smoke's cleared out of the shop and you actually can see things, it's looking pretty good so far. I'm satisfied. It's not bad. Everything will still clear the bed. So as far as I hopefully can go, I'm hoping to just have posts go through the bed just to hold the rack in the back for the batteries and the pumps. I'm hoping maybe just 4 posts, 4 holes in the bed. It's the nicest bed I've ever owned. Hands down. Cleanest bed floor in anything I've ever owned. It actually hurts a little bit to cut it up, I'm not gonna lie. But it is what it is. The rest of the truck's not beautiful by any means. It's not rusty. But yeah, we're looking pretty good. I'm getting distracted here. Nice and even. Super symmetrical. I think it's turning out pretty cool. I'm going to make a cross member for here. Now that this is set and I know distances and things, I've been wanting to put a cross member back here just to stop this stuff from twisting. We got a tiny bit of lift on the uprights that we put on the frame when we initially cut everything apart. And that's just to keep track if the frame is starting to lift or twist or anything like that. It's off the ground like a 16th. It's just hovering, which is completely normal. It's okay. These chassis are super flexible. Like, I can twist it by hand, so I need something to support. And by the time all that weight's on there and this thing gets hopping around, it's gonna get all bent out of shape. We're just trying to mitigate that and keep it as straight as possible before that happens. So I'm gonna cut that and hopefully throw that in there real quick, and we can cut that bar back out. That's just holding everything from twisting. That little piece of 1x1. Yeah, looking pretty cool. I think this came out better than I was thinking. It's better than just a raw weld, I think. Originally I planned on capping this, just kind of something to cover up the ugliness and make it stronger, but I don't really think it's necessary. I do want something on the front. I haven't figured out in which direction I want to brace this, but I do want to put something on the front half to stop it from twisting this way. With this way, it's going to obviously stop the back, but thinking maybe something in this range-ish, something, I don't know. Throw out some ideas, because I'm drawing a blank. Too much grinding dust. Probably should have wore a mask today, to be honest. It was pretty bad. It was really rough in here. So, yeah, rambling. Get back to work. I actually took the time to clean up in here a little bit. You can see the floor again. But we are looking super tanky and very symmetrical. I am really liking the way this is turning out so far. And I actually feel like I got something done this weekend. It hadn't felt that way in a long time. But we're looking pretty good. Hopefully it is as strong as it looks like it is. But as I said in the beginning of the video, we are only 30 subscribers away from doing the next giveaway. I sent out 6 subscriber giveaway packages a couple days ago. 4 people have already messaged me and told me that they got them. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, it'll probably be there within the next couple days. But all you have to do is subscribe and comment down below hashtag Virginia's for Lowriders. And that's it. Once you win, you will pick one of 3 options for an air filter. You will tell me what size between small and 3X. That's all I got for now. I'm working on black t-shirts, hopefully. I was hoping to have them already, but I'm hoping by maybe the time it gets a little chilly outside, I will have black t-shirts up, and we'll start those into the rotation of the giveaway. So, that's it. We're done for this weekend. We will pick this back up next weekend. Next weekend, there are some things. We're going to mix it up a little bit. We need to work on the Mazda. We got to get a fuel pump in the Mazda. I need to fix the exhaust on the Caprice. The last time I really drove the Caprice was at MINITRUCK, which was its first drive since the body drop. And I went a little extreme with that. I drug 3/4 of an inch of pinch weld off of it. And that resulted in dragging through the exhaust and pretty much ruining the gas tank. I'm not going to have time to fix the gas tank. It doesn't leak yet. So I'll just try to restrict my floating. But I have to do all those things and get those trucks and car ready because the weekend actually starts next week. There's a week-long show that's local to us. It's called Attitude Check. There's camping and mini trucks and full sizes and pretty much anything custom that goes up and down is there. Some lifted stuff. It's a good time. We usually go on Saturdays, so I have basically 2 weeks to get that ready. It starts earlier than that because it's over a week long, but we have to get those cars drivable-ish because it's like a 45-minute to an hour drive from my house to get there. So we need to make them roadworthy. All of those words was just to say that I need to make my projects roadworthy. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So next weekend, tune in. We'll be doing some driving. Maybe we get a little floating footage. Haven't done that in a while. And I'll put some miles down on cars that don't ever get driven. So check back in, and maybe you'll win something. Maybe we'll actually make some more progress next weekend on top of that. Maybe, I'm not really sure because I got to work on some other things that aren't exciting going up and down rigs. Yeah, I'm just rambling. It's a rambling weekend. So I'll see y'all next weekend. Subscribe, comment, and have a good week.